Now we start. Good morning, every student. Today we are working on the first lecture of the course web development application. Uh, as you know, because in this time the pandemic of the COVID-19 is very dangerous, so we cannot go to the class at normal. That reason why we have to work online like this. So now I will introduce you everything related to our course, web application development. The ID of the code is IT093IU. Okay, and the first is see my full information and the lab tutorial Mr. Lam, right? In detail our information, you can go to the website of our faculty and you can see. This is my email and Lam email. So if you have any problem, you can ask me directly by sending an email. This is the description of the course. First, introduction to the web programming model, right? Focus on the Java framework, NS10, .NET, PHP, Node.js, Django, etc. are introduced. It means that imagine that now you are in the third year, and normally this course spent for the third year student in the third year. When you finish some previous code, for example, programming, OOP, object-oriented programming, Java programming, database, right? Okay, and maybe some the other code, data structure, something like that. And this is also the requirement, especially the code you must study before database, right? Because when you want to develop a web application, it must include the database design in the backend side. Okay, and as you know, nowadays we have a lot of the framework, right? They are tool and technique to help you to develop your web application. For example, in this code, as I mentioned, we focus on Java framework, right? And but in practice, maybe when you finish this code and in the near future go out for work in the company, right? In the industry, maybe you will extend to work with other framework. .NET, do you know .NET, right? Microsoft.NET and PHP, right? This is the open framework for you to develop your web application. Node.js and then so also. So the next, this code will provide the knowledge of basic web design. When you work with web programming, there are two parts that are very important. The first is the web design. It means you will develop your web page, and then normally it's linked to the front end. You get two keywords, front end and back end. Front end means UI, user interface. In this code, you will design your web page. And back end, it means that you will programming, right? Program to implement or not the functionality of your web application. And the first part provide you knowledge to the web design. For example, you need to study about HTML, cascading style sheet. It means this tool to help you, right? This programming easy considered as a program language, but just for design to help you to format your web page. And JavaScript is very important. Maybe you will use it to handle some interaction between the user and the web page. Extend to ASAC, ZK, and Django framework. They are all of the framework to help you to work in this code. And the next relate to the backend, as I mentioned before, right? Train the core technology of Java framework. As I mentioned, we have a lot of framework, but we focus on one technique in this code is Java framework. The next, support students skill to design and implement a web-based application. The last, some experience in building a web programming based on the Java framework. The second, learning outcome, right? When you study this code, you have some learning outcome as follow. The first, have knowledge and understanding the basic of the web programming model, tool and techniques. It means you just focus on one technique, for example, Java framework, right? But you can study S10 to study yourself about the .NET framework and the other. The next, you can be able to develop some small application. Why I write like this? Because we have 45 teaching hour, and we have also lab section, but it's enough time for you. When you finish this code, you can develop yourself about small application. It means at least cover 5 uh, main function of a web application. For example, when you run your web application, you can input the data from the web page, right? You can you can retrieve and view your data. You can modify, you can search, something like that. But in practice, we have lecture about manage the core technique of Java framework, and next obtain the essential skill to design and develop the web-based application. You can improve yourself, your study ability in order web application beyond the extent technique that I mentioned before. And there are some requirements for you when you study in this course. The first is one of the advanced course. It has a fast pace and require much effort spending outside of class time. It means that when you study this course, it's harder comparing some other course. For example, normally for core code, right, in computer science or IT, the lab section only you have 8 section, right? But in this course you have 12 section because the lab section is hard work. At the end you have finished your web application. And student expected mean I require you, right, to attend all of the class section, both for theory class and lab section on time. And you should prepare everything. It's very, very important. When you understand and you have a very good preparation, you can easy to understand and approach the class. Students have to finish their assignment on time. It means for assignment, I will assign you maybe in the theory class or in the lab section. You must finish all of them. In case if you cannot finish, because in some case difficult for you to finish, you can exchange with your tutorial, or you can email directly to ask me, for example. We will help you. And the last step to be taken at the day and time schedule. Yeah. But the most important part is that you cannot, right, as I write here, do not copy from another student. It means you must do it yourself. And this is some textbook, right? The first one textbook and reference book. Take a look in the very important this textbook, Java EE, right? Okay, development with Eclipse, develop, test, and troubleshoot Java enterprise application rapidly with Eclipse. Eclipse is one of the IDE for you to program. I will show you later, right? And the second one, you can read the book Web-based Application Development in 2010. You can refer from internet, or you can go to our IU library, right, and to order, for example. Or even if you have the condition, you can buy the latest version to study yourself. And there is one important reference is that you can refer the textbook, maybe one, but still very, very useful when we are working with the Java framework. The textbook focus on the core servlet and Java server page. Okay, and there are one Vietnamese book of my book, our book, right? You can find this textbook in our faculty. Or you can go to the bookstore, Minh Khai bookstore or Phương Nam bookstore to buy it. In this textbook, we draw it in Vietnamese, so easy to study. Now, there are some activity in our class. As I mentioned, for every other course, we have 15 sessions. And for us, we have 3 teaching periods. Remember, this is the for us periods, 45 minutes. And you know the time you can see on the blackboard, right? We start from the 16th February to 14th of June. But in fact, we are in the pandemic. We stay online, right? So we will reduce the number of the session. And for example, today we are working online directly like this. But when you come back to the class, I will revise again and answer all of your questions. So don't worry, right? And about the lab session, as I mentioned, you have 12 sessions, right? Normally you have 8 in other course. And the marking scheme, right? There is the midterm SM 30%, all of the lab plus project and assignment 30% also. And the last important final SM 40%. So the policy, remember that this is the course very important for you, for your future career, right? It means when you finish this course, you can go out to work directly in the company. So you should implement, you should program, you should study yourself. Should not copy program or source code. Remember, if I found you violate the rule, right, I will minus 50% of the final rate, and normally you will fail the course. And I have my way to check. And about the absent, or you must attend or not the section, both theory and lab section. If you absent, the total time greater than or equal 25% of the course, you will not allow, right, to take in the final exam. And normally you will also fail the course. And quiz will be checked random, depend on the process in the class. So now the lecture I will provide you before the, when we finish one theory class, I will upload to the Blackboard, right? Because for each semester I modify a little bit. So maybe I need to, when I finish the teaching, right? Okay, I will upload. And the exercise will be provided at the end of the lecture. This is in detail for 15 weeks, right? We are working together. Today, introduction, and then we go to the first important lecture. It means introduction to the HTML. HTML is the programming language for web design. Okay, we will work on the next session. About the lab, about the software, right? We have many tools and techniques, but in this course we can use the IDE. IDE acronym of the Integrated Development Environment. For example, you can use NetBeans or Eclipse. This is the requirement, and all of them already installed in our lab room already. Web server, right? You can use the Tomcat or Glassfish. And about the DBMS, database management system, we will work by using the MySQL. In practice, maybe you have a lot of DBMS, for example, Microsoft SQL, right? PostgreSQL or even Oracle. But in this code, we use MySQL. And other framework, as I mentioned, the optional. You can use it, you can extend to study yourself at home. About the working, right? We have 12 sessions. Finish all requirement exercise for the lab, and attend on lab to get the advice and your assignment. You work hard, right? It's in my advice. You must, okay, very hard course. So you try to finish every assignment. At the end, you can finish one web application. About the assignment, normally you can work in group. For each group, you will have maximum 3 students per group, and 2 types of the topic. The first, you can select the topic provided by lecture. It means I can provide you a list of the topic. You can choose one of them. And the second one, you can propose yourself. And this topic, you can use it in the near future, maybe for your leadership or even in the basic topic. You work at home in the lab and the lab session. So what are we looking for? As I mentioned, at the end of the lab session, you will have the demonstrate program. It means you need to demo your program, right, directly on the board, and then you submit full report about your project. and you will in the lab in the demo program, right? You will implement various database functionality. For example, you can run your program, and in the web page, right, you can input data, you can query data. Queries means you can view data, right? Search something like that, update, modify, and then you present the result in the class. And during the for each group, you will have maximum 20 minutes to present your project, and then you have around from 5 to 7 minutes to demo, right? Okay, we will ask you directly to check you about your task, and even I will check directly from each contribution. For example, your group have 3 students, right? Okay, I will add the first student, the second, and the third. How many percent for each? From that information, I can evaluate exactly uh, your contribution in the group. Okay, this is all of the introduction to the course, and thank you for your attention. So now there is some research topic you can buy on. This is just some guideline, right? Or you can propose yourself, as I mentioned before, right? The first, you can research about ASP.NET. It means this is the Microsoft framework. Hmm? If you use the Microsoft framework, you can develop your web application by using the ASP.NET, right? Normally, you can see the web page, the extending of the file is dot HTML, right? Dot .jsp, Java Server Page, dot .aspx. And in this case, you can use also PHP, Python, Ruby, and Rails for web development application, right? And about the front end for the web design, right? You can use JavaScript, Angular, JavaScript, and React, etc. There is one of the editing tool, WordPress. It means this is the tool already. It can support you some web page templates. Okay, you should download and you can modify the source code. But in order to modify the source code of the HTML or JavaScript inside, you must study well. You understand the structure of the HTML. After that, you can easy to modify. Web 2D, right? Web 3L and VRML. All of them are the graphical model for the web page. For example, you want to simulate some graphical on the web page, you must study this tool and techniques. VML, acronym of the virtual reality markup language, right? Okay. And responsive web design, this is the technique. It means nowadays you can see when you use the laptop or desktop to access to a web page, no problem. But you can use your smartphone, your mobile phone to access to a web page. At that time, you must use the responsive website. Sorry, responsive web design, because it helps you to automatically scale the interface. You can see on the mobile phone. And about the VR and AR, you know this is a very hot topic nowadays. VR, acronym of the virtual reality, and AR, acronym of the augmented reality. They are the topic to development some game, something like that, or all of the graphical simulation. And apply the VR and AR in e-commerce, in online fashion, etc. Do you know nowadays you can easy to buy something on the internet, right? But normally comparing to the traditional way, when you buy something, you want to test it. But on the web page, how can you test it? For example, you want to buy a pullover, something like that. You want to try, okay, to test your body size and see fit to this pullover or not. But now we are working on the web page. How can you do, right? This is one of the tools they need to help you to test yourself. Okay. And last, game online, other entertainment, etc. Okay, I already finished all of things related to the course, and if you have any question, please send me an email, and then go to the class. In the next month, I will revise again and answer all of the questions. Thank you for your attention.